Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 19, Wrong Kind of Scars. To briefly recap last episode, we finally managed to fulfill the trade run for the slave straps, and here is our 2 heal mech serum as a result. We also made it a priority to try to get as many fine floors up in our throne room, and this is the progress we made so far. Bunny and Sven sharing dual thrones, and this episode I'm hoping to finish that project up. We also additionally added in the weapon storage, so that is a much more secure and better way to store our weapons. And now we have little Bryce here in his own donkey pen. We do have a quest to build a monument, so I'm going to lay down the monument marker, but this monument here is going to be ignored until the throne room is done. So, in efforts to speed up this throne room, let's go ahead and set up another steel cutter table. Hopefully that will help to speed things along. We also had a bit of an incident with some missing legs, you know, the usual for our colony, and here Sven is with some of the battle wounds as well. He went berserk, and we have enslaved 2 additional slaves, both, you know, having their own physical ailments. They're pretty sad. We also purchased a slave and decided that she would actually make a really good recruit. So instead of the recruit we had lined up, previously known as Armadillo, which would be Slave 2, I believe, we have Katya, who is going to be our recruit, a tortured artist masochist who is tough, and this is where we pick up. Trying to get the throne room set up for Sven so he can maximize his Psycaster level. Very, very excited about that. So as soon as Bunny's preach health comes off cooldown, she should hit Sven with it. Another problem that we have in this colony is that a whole lot of people have muscle parasites. So I'm going to set up that nobody gets actual medicine because muscle parasites really aren't cured with medicine. The symptoms are just delayed. Once Zleb wakes up, I have a bit of a task for Zleb to undertake, which will be... Oh, Zleb is up. We're about to get up. No, never mind. The task will be to burn up these corpses so that we can have nicer surroundings around our base, because right now it's frighteningly ugly, and we are dragging in corpse bile every now and then, which is disgusting. Some of the slaves expect scarification, so what I could do is have a little scarification ritual that my colonists don't attend, only the slaves attend, because I don't really care about the quality of the scarification ritual, as it isn't a driver of development points. It's really only to satisfy scars, and these slaves aren't even slaves I'm going to intend to keep. So, don't care if they have a disappointing ritual at all. So, Zleb, now that you're awake, yes, let's go torch some corpses. A totally normal thing to say at 1 in the morning on the 10th of December. Oh, don't torch the slaves. But if you do, who cares? The lovely part about being evil is I don't really have to care about anyone else but myself. I'm also going to go take the effort to torch this down here in case I ever make a corpse pile that includes people. I don't want these people ever hauled, as it'd be a waste of time. Yes, hypothetically, I could pull out their skulls, but I do feel like I have enough skull spikes in my colony already, and so I don't really have the need for additional skull spikes. We're good on that front. All right, Trustin, my man, let's get a second bench. All right, so there is the second stone cutter table, and we'll paste in an additional slate block queue. Bunny is melting down some flak clothing that's tainted that no one ever wants to wear. Huh, she's also slinging insults at Slave 1. Love it. And another thing that I could do is to expand the home zone to clean up the outside of this base, because my colonists are not the one doing the cleaning. It is the slaves that do the cleaning. So I'll have them... I could even include the monument. I don't really care. I'm not, again, the one cleaning. So... Alright, Trustin, let's prioritize Construct over Tailor and get you to make some more throne room progress. Now, as far as other quests outstanding, I am currently working on the Count Ceremony, but we do have the Hidden Installation Mission and the Worshipful Village yet to do. We also have the Terrible Construction, Logging Site, and some Ancient Complexes to rob if we see fit, which I don't think is part of the plan just yet. We're waiting on Katja. One thing that I could do for Katja, we have a legendary steel bed here, so I could put Katja in the legendary steel bed instead of have her use a normal one. That will increase the quality of her accommodations and make her a little bit happier, perhaps. Because instead of having a prison barracks, she'll be in a specific prison cell. And then once she fully joins, we'll put her in a slab bed. It's unfortunate that there's no royal equivalent of a slab bed. It's something I'm going to have to grapple with later on. Do I want the benefits of a royal bed? Or do I want the benefits of a slab bed? The royal bed meaning that my sleep gets fulfilled faster, and the room that the bed is in is finer and more impressive, or the slab bed, which satisfies our ideology. I really don't know. I could go either way. So, old Buddha man, not going to be able to get up. One of the things I was thinking about is when Sven is fully healed, he'll be able to do medical operations, and we might try to get a bionic leg in old Buddha man so he works a little bit faster, because he has a scratch scar and a missing toe on his other leg. So a bionic leg will break him about even. I keep calling him old Buddha man, but he's actually just Buddha man. The patron is old Buddha man for the reference. Bunny will preach health as soon as that comes off cooldown. In just moments. And then maybe I do the scarification ritual if I don't end up a way to get rid of these Slave 1 and Slave 2 that I don't intend to keep. Sven is continuing the research into bioregeneration, which is going to benefit Zleb and get a bunch of the body parts that Zleb has back, which is very, very important. But because we are not transhumanist, a biotuning, a biosculpting cycle takes a while. Transhumanists have quicker cycles, and non-transhumanists, it takes a while. So there will be a bit of a penalty to the speed that we can process Zleb's scars away. So there we go. We have all of the spike core flooring, and Trustin is making masterwork corsets while he waits. A lot of our economy, I think, is going to be driven by Devil Strand. So I'm very excited about having Devil Strand farms that that Lucid, Buddha Man, Slave 1, or not Slave 1, Buddha Man and Lucid can plant. Because I think a lot of our wealth will be driven by Devil Strand clothing and construction, which is pretty cool. I do know that we have the outstanding relic quests, and I'll get around to it once we get that royal rank that I so much want for Sven and Bunny. It's possible that we'll get Far Skip as a psycast, which would also give us the ability to travel far distances near instantly. Oh, a bit of a social fight. Totally fine. Barely bruised at all, in fact. No problem there. I do hope that Trustin's muscle parasites go away soon, because the manipulation hit is obviously really terrible for my main constructor to work slowly. And we have a prepare while raid. Whoa, that is a lot of people. So, some things I could do here. I have the Aerodrone Salvo. Yeah, let me just hit them with a salvo. This is a normal raid, but it's a whole lot of bowmen, so it might just be easier to sort of blow them up. I also have the Orbital Beam Targeter, but that's a one-shot, and the salvo I can call in after a cooldown, so I get it back. And I can also use Honor to call it in when it isn't on cooldown, so we'll just salvo this group away. Alright, bye-bye. Thank you for attending, but I cannot be bothered. Sven, while you're out there, let's just clean up the weapons that we can sell for probably literally pennies, because they're damaged and nobody wants them. But there's 25 herbal meds, which is very, very nice to have. And then there's Mallard, who can enslave, and Mallard is a chemical-interested, careful shooter, so not someone I'm going to want to keep, but perhaps someone I can, set up to be enslaved and to sell. Okay, I'm going to have to drop my herbal meds, because he's just going to continue to use the herbal meds to tend to Mallard. So if we have Mallard coming out, that does mean that Katya is going to go back to sharing a room. So here, I can use some of the excess honor that I have to call down an Aerodrone salvo if I need it again. I just thought that this was a good use of the first salvo, because now it's on cooldown, and I'll get it again at some point, and not a big deal. So, Mallard is coming in to be potentially slave number 3. All of this heal route is going to allow me to do surgery on Budaman and on Slave 2, giving them maybe bionic, maybe prosthetic. I haven't really thought about it. Legs. Probably Budaman's going to get bionic leg. So let's go make one quickly. It's not that I am trying to invest in a named pawn for the sake of investing in them. It's more the fact that a bionic leg will allow him to work faster, which benefits the colony. Whereas Slave 2, I intend to sell off, so I'll probably just do a prosthetic leg instead. Not a full-fledged bionic leg. A prosthetic leg is certainly faster than a peg leg, and it doesn't cost too many resources. It's pretty affordable for the movement speed benefit. So we'll mix and match legs here. We're still waiting on Sven to fully heal, though, because Trustin and his muscle parasites make his manipulation really terrible, which absolutely tanks his ability to do surgery as a result. So I should probably check that, but surgery success chance is 59% because the manipulation is so low, so that's pretty terrible. And then if we check Sven, it's 93%, and 93%, and it will go up as he heals from his, okay, he's already full manipulation, so that's great. Old Budaman, or Budaman, I should really learn your proper name. It is your right leg that is gone. So interesting about this surgery, the person that removed it is going to be the person that puts it back in your body. I am a god to you, I guess you could say. And you should worship me. Apparently a mortal god, perhaps a puny god, but yeah, a god as far as you're concerned. So there we go. We have a bionic leg in there, and then Slave 2 is going to get a prosthetic leg. So I'll have Trustin set that up. And Mallard just fell a little ill, and I am going to use medicine for this because you can't amputate a torso. I mean, I guess you can, but that generally kills the patient. And there we go. The other leg is done. And this will be for Slave 2, because Slave 2 is missing a left. And Sven's fully healed. All right, let's operate. And this isn't because we're benevolent and we're trying to better the lives of our slaves. It's the fact that they literally work faster if we give them these prosthetics. And a one-legged slave is a slow slave. So it's totally, totally selfish. I know it seems like we're being generous, but believe me when I say it is not that case. All right, something else I want to do is to get sacrificed skull. So I'm going to start to build some extra skull spikes. So that I can put Bunny's lover's skull on display. That's something I've always wanted to do. Oh, Lucid, you are not to be raffled anymore. Let me get rid of that. And I guess technically your title is Slave. And same with Buddha Man, Slave. Nothing like a good title. All right, so Mallard, I need to set up to convert and then to enslave. I forgot to do that, but it's not been too long. All right, and Buddha Man is now on his feet. Let's take medicine tending off for everybody. So he is able to walk around again. Still suffering from anesthesia and muscle parasites, so obviously not very fast, but better than he was. Far better than he was. Okay, Trustin requires tending, and then it looks like Zleb requires tending as well. The muscle parasites are honestly pretty nasty. And we're not tending with medicine here. But that should be fine. Trustin is still tending this prisoner with proper medicine due to the infection, but I think that's probably enough meds at this point. And Sven, as soon as work drive is off cooldown, can hit Trustin again with another work drive to try to accelerate the pace and offset the fact that he has muscle parasites. So Trustin and Zleb, I'll allow the colonists to be properly medically tended on second thought. Sad wander, because your brother Mole died. Well, Mole tried to attack us, so I think he got what he deserved. One of the problems of storing chem fuel in here, I just realized, is this is unroofed. Let's throw the roof up on it. And we have a fear cluster. So a freeholder of the Empire of the Moon, which is weird that it would be a freeholder asking me. Freeholders are one of the lowest ranks, or the lowest rank, is making a request. She wants me to signal a mech cluster at me. 2 Lancers, 4 Pikemen, 2 Scythers, a Sunblocker, 2 Unstable Power Cells, 2 Nodes, 2 Capsules, a Mini Slugger, and an Auto Charge. That's not that bad of a mech cluster. And they will pay me honor. I think I will accept this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the throne room set up first, because as soon as that mech cluster is called in, I have to then destroy the mech cluster before the ceremony to, promote Sven can begin. So it's best if I wait, if possible. right, in terms of work, all the slaves should be able to cut stone. I don't really care who does it. And then I will have Trustin start to work on the skull spikes as well. We'll send him over now. So Mallard, he's 99% immune. She's fine. So this is sacrificed skull spike. That is Bunny's X. In fact, Bunny will place it. And let's get the other ones now too. So this one is for Rissa. Bunny, you put that in your bedroom as well. And then the other skull spikes are going to be out here just to satisfy the needs of being near skull spikes for my slaves when they're working in the fields. Because, you know, a little bit of fear goes a long way. Okay, cool. There we are. We have put out a whole lot of skull spikes. Now, the slaves don't actually benefit from skull spikes, so it's more the fact that when we're in the farm field, if we ever are, we benefit. Oh, look at that clean desert out there. Thank you, slaves. Trustin just dinged up to 20. Another thing that I'm going to need to do is to get a piano out of him. I mentioned that last stream, or last episode rather. Oh my. You can tell I'm on Twitch a bit too much. So last episode, but I did want to have him practice his crafting so that I get a nice piano. Because the nicer the piano I get, the more impressive this throne room is. And this throne room needs to hit 160 to satisfy count demands. And it's really good if it's it exceeds 160. Because if it's only sitting at 160 and someone tracks in a little bit of dirt, all of a sudden it's not impressive anymore. And then that will cause the undignified throne room -8 mood on Sven, which was probably a contributing factor of his berserk last episode. So if we want to keep him from going berserk in the future, keeping him happy and making sure his throne room is perfectly satisfying to his demands is important. Taking a look at the progress here, we are at 153K. And we have been playing for about 13 hours. Not the fastest progress I've ever made towards Archonexus, but I'm also role-playing while I do this, so. It looks to me like I am either going to need to allow my slaves to eat processed meat in the hoppers, which I will allow, or meals. I could, I could set them up to eat the simple meals and to cook simple meals, but I'd have to cook it out of meat too. Basically, I ran myself out of rice somehow. I really, honestly don't know how I managed to do that because I had so much rice. In the kitchen stockpile here, let's also allow hops, psychoid, and smoke leaf to be stored so it doesn't decay out here. So we're only a few tiles away from having the throne room tiled up. Sven will still also demand his bedroom at count level. Not currently, he's currently a praetor, but once he has the ceremony, the count ceremony, he'll demand his bedroom to also be fine tiled. So if you take a look at, if you go to bio, click the rank, and then click count, counts like to have a 30 tile bedroom, which is a 5x6, which is already what it is. Impressive vicinity, all fine floors, royal bed. So what's interesting is the royal bed being required by the rank versus the slab bed required by the ideology. Maybe not required, but desired by the ideology are a bit in conflict. But this is just what you get when you have two different DLCs offering two different methods of furniture. So there we go. Mallard has converted, and we will enslave. Alternatively, we could publicly execute, but I won't do that. I'll enslave. And Katya is looking like she's going to be recruited pretty soon. She's very, very close to the mark. Thanks to Lucid's hard work, we are getting quite a lot of stone blocks, and we are just 6 blocks away from having a completed bedroom. Or throne room, rather. Oh, no, Tristan. Turn back around. We're also about to get bioregeneration. So with bioregeneration, what's a little awkward about that is I don't have a good bioregeneration area. I don't have a spot to bioregenerate people yet. I think what I could do is maybe embed it in the mountain here. Might look a little weird, but as long as there is an overhead mountain. Oh, but there's no path there, so that's another problem. That is a little bit of a head scratcher. Where do I put a biosculptor? So if you're wondering, the biosculptor pods are a 2x3, and I gotta stick it somewhere, and it's best to put it in its own individual little room, which is sterile, and currently I don't have sterile materials. So because I don't have sterile materials, I could put it here in the research room, and then set the research room up to be sterile later on. I guess that's fine. I'll do that. Okay, so biosculpt pod. Let's plop that down. Oh, I have to move the light. Just move the light there. And if we're getting a biosculpt pod, let's get sterile materials. So sterile materials will help keep the floors for the biosculpt pods sterile and allow whoever is sculpting to sculpt quicker. And then also the sterile materials will accelerate the speed of research because research speed factor goes up with room cleanliness. So it doubles. I'm gonna move this hospital bed for now though. And rearrange the room a little. Very cramped room, but it's functional. There we go. All right, so Trustin, let's go ahead and get that built. And then Sven will continue the research for sterile materials to be able to biosculpt Zleb even faster. So the way these work is you fill them up with nutrition of some sort. So in my case, I have a lot of meat, so we'll fill it up with meat. And Zleb, you're gonna fill your own pod. And then once it has filled with meat, you pick the type of cycle that you want. So medical cycle, bioregeneration cycle, reverse aging, or pleasure. Medic cycle will heal all fresh wounds, blood loss, and a random infectious disease. A regeneration cycle will heal all fresh wounds, one random permanent injury, and restore small missing body parts like fingers and toes. So, the problem with Zleb here is there is multiple injuries. I think what might be best is if I give Zleb a bionic right arm so that the biosculpt pod doesn't heal the right arm. But we'll let Zleb fill this pod up first. And I have killed all the wildlife. So this is all the meat I have. So I really do want corn soon. Now that the throne room is done, the count ceremony can't carry on without the piano, and the room is not as impressive as it needs to be. So I can turn on the smithy and start on a piano. So here we go. Let's do a bioregeneration cycle for Zleb. And one of these are going to be cured, but I don't know which one. So what I'm going to do is wait to start the cycle until I have a bionic arm to not then cure the scars on the arm, which can then instead be cured through a bionic arm. So we will, I guess, make it a little bit more efficient. Lucid still needs to do a lot more stone cutting because I also need enough stone to make Sven's bedroom all fine floored as well. And it looks like Buddha Man is helping out too. All right, so Trustin, when you're up. If you ever get up, I'll have you fabricate up a right arm for Zleb. Sven will install it. And then Zleb will go into the pod for 22 days, which is a considerably long time, especially to lose your Guardian Specialist. Now, I could always pop Zleb out of the pod if it was in a true emergency, but that's kind of an inefficient way to make sure that you have backup to a fight. Hopefully, I won't have to do that. Okay, there's the bionic arm. I'll just leave it on the ground. Zleb, you are going to get a right arm. And what might end up happening as a result of this is the scar that Zleb has on the right arm might go away, the scarification scar, because obviously the right arm is disappearing as a result of the surgery, but that's just what happens. Okay, and then turn on the pod. And then as soon as Zleb can get up and stick herself into the pod, she'll go. And the reason being, there is nothing but Heal Mech Serum that can cure scratch scars and old gun wounds. I do have Heal Mech Serum here, but Heal Mech Serum right now is helping to add to my colony's wealth, so using it to cure Zleb doesn't help me towards the Archonexus. So we're gonna do it a different way. All right. How many tiles do I need for this? Oh, fine floors. 600. So that is the number to hit for the slate block tiles in here. And I'll probably end up making the center spike core, but it's still going to be 600 because spike core and regular fine are the same cost. I could speed it up with spike core. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do spike core steel floors and do it a little bit less expensively. One of the advantages for that is that, let me show you. So steel here has a beauty of 100. So when you make like statues out of steel, they're not inherently more beautiful. The slate blocks have a beauty of 110. So a beautiful statue, two statues of the same quality, like a normal statue of steel and a normal statue of slate. Slate is going to be prettier. And there we go. Mallard. Slave 3. Slave. We are going to give you your outfit, your drugs. Now, the problem here is chemical interest will not respect a drug policy. So Katya, or not Katya, Slave 3 will still take drugs even when restricted from drugs because chemical interest pawns don't actually behave the way you think they should. Where they will, they'll sneak it on the side. And Zleb, you're up, so let's stick you in a regen cycle. And it will cure one of the two, which is a torso scar or a neck scar. And she is going to grab 2 Glitter World Medicine to start the cycle. Alright, Slave 3, you need to have your head shaved and your clothing dyed. Also appears like I need... No, you just haven't worn the... No, I do actually need tribal wear. So... No, not tribal wear. Strap. Body strap. I sold all my body straps. So, another slave body strap. We'll make this out of... I guess cloth. And this is to maximize suppression so that they stay unrevolting. I haven't had a single slave revolt so far. Work priorities. One thing I glossed over. Animal handle. Stone cutting. I guess we have a stone cutter now. So this takes 25 days, but as soon as I get sterile materials researched, it will speed up the process a bit. And we have a legendary corset. Cool. All right, sterile materials is researched, and I'm gonna have Trustin prioritize the sterile materials for the research room as fast as he can, so that I can speed up Zleb's cycle, bioregen cycle, so that I can have Zleb back as a protector of our colony. So, this sterile materials do cost silver to build, but it'll be worth it. I wonder which injury is getting healed. So there's a cleanliness speed factor for the biosculptor pod. The cleaner the room is, the faster the sculpting will go. And that's what the sterile materials are for, once they're done. So if we have all of the slate blocks we need for the throne room, I'm going to allow the slaves to cut any stone block. And we are making this floor out of steel, so it doesn't really matter. And Katja just joined us. Katja's name, for now, is going to be No Luck, but this might change later on. And we are going to give her... We'll give her the room. This is her bedroom now. I'm going to fashion it just like the other bedrooms. I know she's not on a slab bed. Perhaps I switch over to a slab bed at some point. But a legendary bed is a pretty nice bed anyway. And I'm going to lock Trustin in here so he does a little bit more research. Or a little bit more construction, sorry. And as it is becoming cleaner, because I'm making sterile tiles, the speed at which this pod is running is accelerating. Up to 115%. Cool. Thank you, Trustin. So now that 25 days is shaved down to 21 days as a result. All right, so this room is at 141 impressiveness, and one of the ways I can help to knock this up a bit... Oh, No Luck. Yes, you also need your clothing. So you're going to be treated just like everybody else. Let's take a look at your skills again. So art, mining, shooting. So let's give you art. And I think I'm going to assign you the production specialist for art, in fact. So you will hold the same title as Trustin. And one of the benefits is the usable ability. Well, you'll see. It's going to be pretty cool. So changing clothing. I will need a new SMG for you. So Trustin will make one of those. Sven needs a research. Let's go with jump packs. Do I want jump packs? Yeah. Yeah, let's go with jump packs. And then I will start to queue up. So a role change. Let's do a quick role change here. So role change for No Luck, where only the slaves attend. And we are going to... Oh. Crafting and construction. Oh, I see, I see. Oh, you might just have to be an artist. because you don't have the crafting and construction to join the role change. All right, that's fine. So production, art bench, throw that in there. And get that made. So now I'm going to start to do large sculptures. And I am going to work on my large sculptures out of, let's say, steel for practice, because the blocks are going to go to this structure here, which Trustin needs to build for honor. We still now have the fear cluster, but I'm trying to get this up and running before I accept that, so that I can up my rank. So many things happening at once. And obnoxious solar flare, of course. So that we don't waste any material, I'm going to have Sven and Bunny not construct for now. Zleb won't progress in the Biosculptor pod as power has been interrupted. It pauses, unfortunately. And then these steel tiles will satisfy Sven's need for fine floors once it's done. My animals in the pen are hungry. Well, the problem is I don't really have any vegetables to feed it. I suppose what I could do is temporarily put fine or simple meals in here and feed it just some simple meals. Let it eat the... Ooh. I was going to say let it eat the meals, and then Slave 2, excuse me, went berserk and is causing damages. Little tantrum there. All right, please stop, or we'll beat you. All right, Sven, I'm going to have you help out here by removing floors. I'm just going to micromanage it so that Trusting can just throw the steel down and do it the spike core floors in large batch rather than the sort of one at a time approach that we've been having. Trustin, instead of constructing that monstrosity up there, which there's plenty of time to do, let's get another weapon for no luck. And then it wouldn't be terrible to get some dusters and the rest of the clothing that everybody else is comfortable with, but made out of double strand instead of the thrumbo. So double strand, duster, and we can have one duster in the stockpile at all times of Devil Strand, so we have spares, and we'll do... I'm not going to worry about bowler hats anymore. So we'll do Devil Strand shirt and Devil Strand pants. That's a good start. All right, so now we'll just deliver the steel for the spike core plates, and that will allow Trustin to make it a lot faster. And we have a Masterwork Heavy SMG, which is exactly what I wanted for No Luck. And No Luck is a passionate shooter, so it's possible that she becomes better at it over time. And that, my friends, is all the time I have. Thank you for watching The Archotechs, Episode 19, Wrong Kind of Scars. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you're interested to know when videos release on my channel or when live streams happen, Rhadamant.com has a schedule and countdown timers for streams. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons and Twitch subscribers for supporting the channel. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell, Archotechs.